has taught us one brutal lesson. No country, no continent can defeat a pandemic alone. It requires a global approach, the us rather than the me, and a collective commitment at the highest political level. The next pandemic is not a question of if, but when. So we must be ready, and we have no time to waste.
Now, for more on this, I'm joined by our Foreign Affairs Editor, Philip Turle. Philip, what are the signatories hoping to achieve with this letter?
Well, I think you can gather from that intervention there that there is a growing feeling of worry that there's a lack of international solidarity in trying to find a way out of the coronavirus pandemic. What this letter is basically calling for is three different aims. The first one is the setting up of an international warning system, saying that this is going to happen again. It can happen once with the coronavirus. This won't be the last time round. We need to be better armed next time round to be able to take this on, and countries need to come together. Only that can happen with the second aim, the shared use of data and research. And the third aim is equal access to testing, the global distribution of drugs and personal protective equipment, and of course, equal access to drugs and vaccines. All of those are being called for by this letter. And I think that we've seen since the start of this pandemic how the world has been split over those who are taking a more nationalistic approach towards all of this, who are trying to become rather isolationist, and other countries who are saying, well, until everybody is vaccinated, nobody is vaccinated. We have to come together to pool our resources together to find a way out of this. And I think that is what this letter is calling for, a prevention letter against isolation and nationalism, increased solidarity and increased cooperation.
But Philip, there are some notable absentees, including Russia and China. So does this mean that this call for increased transparency has effectively fallen on deaf ears?
Well, you could say that without China and Russia and even the United States signing this document, that it could be dead in the water, because they're three of the world's largest countries. And China is where, as we've just been hearing, the coronavirus epidemic started in the first place. I think that the United Nations and the World Health Organization are trying to put a brave face on this. We were just hearing from Tedros Ghebreyesus, one of the signatories and the main champion of the treaty, the Director General of the World Health Organization, who says, well, this is an opt-in situation. Countries can come on board when they want. We're talking to everybody, and everybody's going to be involved in this treaty, including the United States, including China, including Russia. The fear is, though, that we've seen a locking of horns often in the past between the United States on one side and China on the other. We've seen even a locking of horns more recently between the European Union and the United Kingdom in the last week or so over the distribution of vaccines. So this is going to be no easy task, getting all these countries to work as one to try to stamp out this pandemic and to prevent it from happening again. But I think the signatures of this letter, what they're trying to put across as a message is that we can do this together. The more people that come on board, the more signatures that we have, the better chance we have of fighting this virus in the future, and the better chance we have of pooling our resources together to come up with a global solution. And that is the only way to stop a future coronavirus pandemic or another pandemic of some other virus from causing the same damage that this one has caused so far.
Philip Turle, thank you for that.